If you are planning to start a business in Nigeria and you are trying to choose between an enterprise and a limited liability company, then this video is definitely for you. Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. And if you are just joining for the first time, I want to specially welcome you. Thank you for joining. We've been hoping and praying that you join this channel. Before now, we had started off with a brief introduction and we went on to inviting our first guest that happens to be my mom. And I was blown away by your comments and your remarks. I'm very grateful for making the comment section very interactive. I saw all your lovely messages and we are grateful. My mom and I, we are sincerely grateful. And if you are yet to subscribe, do well to subscribe because this topic is very crucial for every business owner. So I would advise that you invite your friends, invite your colleagues, and invite everyone intending to start his or her business to listen to everything I'll be discussing today. And I bet you that you have a very nice and wonderful experience. So today we'll be diving into one of the most important topics for everyone doing business here in Nigeria. If you are planning to start a business in Nigeria and you are trying to choose between an enterprise and a limited liability company, then this video is definitely for you. Today, we'll be talking about how to set up an enterprise, also known as sole proprietorship or a limited liability company, and how this new 2026 tax reform will affect you as a business owner. Now, did you know a major overhaul has been passed? That is the Nigerian Tax Act 2025. That is to commence January 1st, 2026. This is Nigeria's biggest tax change in decades. So understanding it now gives you an edge and also an advantage in running your business or in setting up or starting up your business in 2026. So before I start, what is an enterprise? And what is a limited liability company? Because I understand a lot of startup individual people that are about to start up their businesses, they get very confused as to what to register as or what to start up or register as. I hear question, should I start up or should I register my business as an enterprise or a limited liability company? Now, the first question is, what do you intend to do as a business owner? What is your capital? Are you an individual or you have a group of collectives or people coming to start up something very lucrative and they have financial capacity? Don't get yourself confused with what you hear on social media. I see videos of people advising business owners to switch from their entity, that's enterprise, to a limited liability company. I saw a lot of videos going on IG of content creators or people trying to advise business owners that are currently registered as an enterprise to switch to a limited liability company without understanding the implication of you switching to a limited liability company, because it incurs a lot of costs. And if you are not financially capable to do that, please do not change your registration. If you do not earn below 50 million a year, please remain as an enterprise. But if you earn more than that and you are financially capable of getting an auditor to audit your account and your expenditures for your business or your company, then that's fine. That if you have several streams of income or if you have several revenues coming in, then sure, you can switch to a limited liability company. But if you do not have it, please remain as an enterprise or remain as a sole proprietor. Now, what is an enterprise? An enterprise is also known as sole proprietorship. This is the smallest form of business and is very easy to register. It's also very cheap and there's no separation between the individual and the business. The disadvantage is that there's no protection for your personal assets and you bear all the business risk. But for a limited liability company, The business structure separates you from your business. Remember, as an enterprise, you and your business are one. But for a limited liability company, it separates you from your business legally. It simply means that your personal assets are protected, your business can sue and be sued independently, and you enjoy flexibility in ownership and taxation. So the features of a limited liability company include: you can have 1 to 50 shareholders, stronger credibility, offers liability protection, can sue and be sued independently, better access to funds, investors, grants, and corporate clients. And the advantages of limited liability company is that your personal assets are protected, more professional image, access to bigger opportunity because the bank can trust you, individuals can trust you because as a limited liability company, your company is well structured, and it can withstand risk as compared to an enterprise. Like I said, there's a range of 1 to 50 shareholders, so you have individuals that are available to bear the risk and to bear the costs. So unlike the business liability company that just one person bears the risk and bears the cost. Disadvantage of a limited liability company is that higher costs of registration is required, more documentation, and it requires tax and CAC returns. Now you might ask, why choose limited liability company? Limited liability protection, it simply means that your personal money or car or houses isn't at risk. So when you are to take loan, for instance, let me use Uche and Co Nigerian Limited. You go to a bank to get loan using that company name and you're unable to pay back. Your assets, your personal assets, your cars, your house are safe. So the only thing that the bank can come to acquire is anything within the business structure. They can come to take the company's equipment, the chairs, and every other assets that are available within the company's name. You also have professional credibility, meaning that clients can trust you and trust your registered business. Like I said, you also have easy access to loans, investors, and grants, flexible management structure, and easier taxation options. Now, you might say, what are the steps involved in starting an LLC? So it depends on wherever you are, but in Nigeria, the first thing you have to do is to choose a business name. Usually, you're advised to pick 3 names so that when you put in through the CAC portal, they can advise which one is free for you to use and which you cannot use because other individuals or probably other company or someone else has already gotten the name before you came on board. So in choosing a business name, your name must be unique. It must not be misleading, not conflicting with existing registered companies. Another step in setting up a limited liability company is to determine your business purpose. Why do you want to own that business? What is your business purpose? What does your company do? Because this helps to clarify and regulate what you should do as a business owner and also give you an idea on the kind of permits you are to have. Another step is to decide on ownership structure. Is the business to be owned by you alone or you have other co-founders? So if you have other co-founders, you have to list the members, their ownership percentage, roles and responsibilities. Another step is to prepare your registration documents. By your registration documents, I mean your identification, your address, company objective, statement of compliance, article of organization, or memorandum and article of association. Register with the corporate registry that submit your documents and pay the required fee. In Nigeria, this is done with CAC. So once all of this is approved, you receive your certificate of incorporation and you also obtain your tax identification number known as TIN. After incorporation, you get your TIN so you can open a corporate bank account, file taxes, apply for contracts or government tenders. So in applying for government tenders, outside your CAC documents and your TIN and VAT. You also need to have some other statutory documents that I'll be discussing in my next video. But today we'll just be focused on how you can get your LLC done, how you can register your limited liability company or your business account or your enterprise. Sorry. So you have to open a business account. Please, once you are registered or once you register your business, do not make transactions using your personal account. It's usually advisable that you open a business account so that you can have all your financials documented. And when you have to make transaction, please narrate it accordingly. If you are buying so and so, you can put purchase of this item so that at the end of the year, when you are to file or when your auditor comes, it doesn't confuse anybody. It's transparent, it's clear, and you get the correct and precise audit. Another step is to set up internal documentation. That's operating agreement, financial structure, record keeping system, compliance checklist. So common mistakes to avoid: missing personal and business finances. I had mentioned it before. Using unapproved business name. So there are some people that have portfolio companies, meaning they just have their business name that is not registered. For instance, TG's Enterprise. For instance, Uche's Enterprise, and you've not gone through the right channel. That's through the CAC channel of getting your business registered. You've not done that, and you are just advertising using a name that is not recognized by the government. If you are caught doing that in 2026, you pay a fine. Failing to file annual reports is another mistake people do. Ignoring tax obligations, not drafting internal agreements, and registering an LLC with unclear business objectives. Now, what is the key difference between an enterprise and a limited liability company? For an enterprise, there is no legal protection, while for a limited liability company, it has legal protection. For an enterprise, is owned by one person, but for a limited liability company, I'd say that it has a range of 1 to 50 persons to own the business. In terms of credibility, for an enterprise is moderate, for a limited liability company is high. For taxes, we have the personal income tax for an enterprise and we have the company income tax. Then access to funds for enterprise is limited. Access to funds for limited liability company has a wider range. Then for compliance with enterprise, it's very easy to be very compliant because you do not have a lot of documentation. While for limited liability company is more structured, because of the returns and tax filings. Now, let's go into the current tax system. So before 2026, to understand this reform, you must know the basic of the current system. As an enterprise or a sole proprietorship, you pay personal tax through your state, that's IRS. You also remit payee for staff, withholding tax where applicable. While for a limited liability company now, you pay company income tax, VAT if earning above 25 million annually, payee, withholding tax, and other taxes or charges that are incurred. For turnovers under 25 million, if they are to tax you, it will be 0%. For turnovers within 25 million to 100 million, is about 20%. For turnovers above 100 million, is about 30%. 30% is actually not fixed because the government is looking at making it 25, but it has not been passed. So it's within the 25 to 30% depending. Okay, so the new tax-free threshold for individuals and sole proprietors is what I'll be discussing next. So the new tax-free threshold for individual and sole proprietorship is 800,000. So if you earn 800,000 or less per year, you pay no tax. So this is where people get a bit confused. Oh, will I be taxed if I earn 800,000 a year? No, you will not be taxed. But if you earn above 800,000, you will be taxed 15%. If they subtract, for instance, if you earn 1 million naira a year, at the end of the year, they would subtract 800,000, which is the free threshold, from the 1 million naira, and you'll be left with 200,000. So what will be taxed will be 200,000. So 15% of 200,000 would be taxed. So if you earn above 800,000, you'll be taxed 15%. If you earn above 9 million, you'll be taxed 18%. If you earn above 13 million, you'll be taxed 21%. If you earn above 25 million, you'll be taxed 23%. And if you earn above 50 million, you'll be taxed 25%. However, there is a twist to it, and they are trying to see how individuals can now claim less of what they should be taxed. So I had mentioned that if you are earning above 800, if you're earning 1 million, what they'll tax is the 200,000, 15% of the 200,000. So there's a tweak to it, which is the rent relief that has been introduced. So individuals can now claim 20% of their annual rent up to 500,000. Do you understand what that means? It means if your rent is 2 million a year, 20% of the 2 million will be removed from your rent, and the government will take responsibility. Meaning, if your rent is 5 or 1 million, 20% of it is 200,000. Instead of taxing the 200,000 naira extra from your 1 million after subtracting the stretch hold, which is 800,000, your rent relief comes in and takes up that credit, meaning the 200,000 can now be spared because of the rent relief. Let me break it down. Now, as a worker, I earn cumulatively for 12 months, I earn 1 million naira. Okay? And now I would want to file. And the government subtracts 800,000 from 1 million, and I'm left with 200,000. And I go again to say, please, oh, I do not own a house. I pay rent. And they'll ask you, how much is your rent? My rent is 1 million every year or yearly. So they will take out 20% of your rent as their responsibility. It's called the rent relief. And once they take that out, they'll add it to your stretch hold. They'll sum about the same 1 million, meaning your 200,000 naira will be spared as the rent relief. So this is my summary. We had started off with trying to understand what an enterprise is and what a limited liability is. We've also gone through the advantages and disadvantages of a limited liability company and an enterprise. We've also gone through the process of getting your LLC done, how you can go about it, how you should come about having your business name. It's not something you just sort online. Getting names online can also give you wrong options. You can just seek professional help in getting your business name sorted. We also try to talk briefly on the Nigerian Act 2025, and we talked about the threshold for enterprises, which is 800,000. We also discussed how it is usually calculated. So when you earn up to a certain amount, say above 800,000, you are taxed. We talked about the rent relief. We talked about scenarios where we get info as to upscale our enterprise to a limited liability company without proper professional advice, and we said no to that. So please, my friends, please, my business owners, and please, my startups, let's not make mistakes in 2026. Let's seek professional advice. If you have any questions whatsoever, you can always send me a message send me a message in my comment section, and I'll respond, because I do not have the ample time to discuss this extensively, but I'll see how I can look for it. I try to write all these things down so I don't miss any point. And I also do not want to bore my viewers with long and wordy information, so you can grasp it and understand it clearly. But I hope that with these few points I've listed out, you are able to understand what an enterprise is and what a limited liability is, and what an enterprise is entitled to and what a limited liability company is also entitled to. Until next time, my name is Uchechukwu Cynthia Abel. I remain your one and only host for today. Hopefully, I'll be getting a legal professional to come and educate us further as regards legal documentation when it comes to our businesses. Yeah, do well to invite people to subscribe, like, and please comment when necessary. Until next time, have an amazing, amazing time, and please do stay safe.